When you were a kid, let's go back to your childhood. Back in the hardcore streets of where? Roselawn, Bond Hill.
I guess.
Bond Hill. It's weird because you're not ghetto. I mean, everybody else doesn't know, but you don't seem like the typical Marquita. Like, I wouldn't guess that your name is Marquita. Most people would say that's a ghetto name. Like, Marquita is like, when I hear Marquita, I think of somebody, somebody with some big old earrings, big old butt, booty shorts on, like they're just walking twerk all day long. That's what I think when I hear Marquita. Yeah.
Nope, not me at all.
Wow. Yeah, so earliest childhood memory. Take us back. What's your best childhood memory?
I used to like going to my grandma's house in Forest Park. My dad's mom, she would pretty much take us anywhere we wanted to go. Like when we spent the weekend with her, sometimes it was just me by myself. Sometimes it was me and my two other cousins. And like, she gave us coffee in the morning. On Goodwill, kids shouldn't have coffee.
Why do they always say kids shouldn't have coffee?
It has caffeine. I think it's the caffeine.
But pop has caffeine in it.
We weren't supposed to drink pop as kids. Your mama gave you pop when you was a kid. Now my kids get to Skyline. I want a Pepsi. Man, I want a Mountain Dew.
I remember drinking pop as early. I just remember drinking pop anytime they had pop in the house.
No. You could go in the refrigerator and get a pop?
Yes, no problem.
We could not. Like there was Kool-Aid.
There
was juice boxes. Those little Huggy barrels. They're gross now, by the way.
Yeah, Huggies don't taste the
same. No. But as a kid, there was always like water, Kool-Aid, or some type of juice. It was a privilege if my grandma let us take a sip out of her cup of Pepsi. That was her drink. My mom's mom, Pepsi. Okay. But yeah.
So you have both parents in the house? Yes.
Okay. My mom and dad are still married.
Still married. Together. How many years have they been married? Take a guess. Well, if you don't have to say how old you are, but
because
20 years, 30 years.
So let's go with
30-ish years.
Yes.
30-ish years. Wow.
Yeah, let's go with 30.
Well, I guess that's good.
And I was in the wedding, so you do the math.
So they wasn't married when you were born, technically.
No.
So that
means I was in the actual wedding.
In the ceremony.
Yes. I was the flower girl in my parents' wedding.
How old did you think you were?
Had to be like 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
That's why I say 30.
Okay. So you was what they call a bastard child. Technically.
Sure, I guess.
Ain't that what that means?
I don't know, but my parents are married now, and they're still married. That's something to be proud of, because a lot of people's parents aren't married anymore, or they were never married.
Yeah. My parents. Yeah, we're not talking about my parents.
No, this is
okay.
About me.
Yeah, this is about you. Okay, so you think your best childhood memory is just going hanging out with your grandma? Mm-hmm. Grandma seems like your grandma was the nicer parent.
Absolutely.
So you get over on your grandma.
But we didn't do anything.
Give me some money.
Once again,
give me $1.
This generation is different.
Yeah.
Like, so we went over, we would go in the basement, watch TV, play with toys. When Forest Fair Mall was Forest Fair Mall with all the games and rides, she would take us there. They had a big sandbox. Like, anything we requested, she would take us, she would feed us.
Feed us. As a kid, anytime you get restaurant food is the best day ever.
Yes. So now
you got McDonald's.
Like now they eat out every day.
And it's just normal now.
Yeah, like McDonald's again.
McDonald's again. I want Chick-fil-A.
Right. Can we get Skyline?
Oh, God,
kids.
These kids is funny.
But yeah, so
okay, that's cool. So what would you say your worst childhood memory was?
Worst.
Or worst young teenager childhood memory?
Worst would have to be being the plus size friend all the time.
That's a childhood memory?
Yes, because it definitely hurt me a lot. So that's a bad childhood memory. Is that no matter where we went, no matter who we talked to, as far as when I'm with my friend hanging out with guys or talking to guys, everybody always saw me as the plus size friend because back then nobody really wanted to talk to plus size women, and if they did, they wanted to keep it a secret because they didn't want everybody else to know about it. So it definitely brought me down to a place where it was like, nobody likes me in that way. Everybody thinks I'm a great friend to have, but nobody wanted to date me because they didn't want everybody to know that they were interested in fat girls.
Interesting. That's fun. Well, it's not funny that you were fat, but it's funny.
No, well, I kind of been chubby my whole
life. Yeah. I mean, you can't help it. I don't know.
I guess it's genetic.
So what? I like snacks more than you do.
And the thing is that I don't.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I don't overeat. I don't eat a whole lot of snacks. It's just
people think when you're bigger, you automatically just greedy and eat everything and everything. I tell you, my brother, super duper skinny, can't gain nothing, can eat up everything in your house and never gain weight.
That's just how it goes.
It's just genetic. So you think being plus size, do you feel like, so now as an adult, do you think that played any effect on how you view life, being plus size? Do you think that stopped you from talking to people you may want to talk to, or stuff like that?
Yes, I think that growing up like that, I was very shy, and I think in early on relationships, I was a yes man. So it was like people
yes woman. You gotta be careful because the LGBTQRS people, they gon' come crazy. Like, she's not a real. I mean, if y'all, then,
I was a yes person.
You know them. That's another story. That ain't. Woo. Don't say nothing about the LGBTQs because
I was a yes person. So like pretty much anything you ask for in a relationship, I was afraid to, I guess, lose that person, or you're on edge, like, do they really like me? What are they here for? Like, I just want to make sure I do things that they like so that they don't go away, because it seemed like it was hard to find people who were interested in plus size women. So.
Well, you wasn't a woman as a kid.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Plus size young ladies. So
did you ever have a boyfriend, friend type of little kitty crush back in those days?
Of course.
Can you remember? Who was your kitty crush? I mean, you don't have to say their name or whatever. We can just make up a name. Just make up a name.
Well, then what's the point of talking about him if I just
because the story,
Bob.
Yeah, let's go. You have to tell us about Bob and how did that come about. First boyfriend / friend.
We lived on the same street together, so that's how it happened. We lived.
So you walked outside. Hey, hi. Like, how did they approach you?
Our parents already knew each other. And then we happened to live on the same street. So going home one day, and...
So about how old were you at this time?
Maybe 12, 13.
Okay,
maybe.
So teenager.
Yes, kind of, sort of, yeah. So we're driving down the street home, and we're passing this person's house. And so my dad stops, and he's like talking to the mom. The son's right there. And as we leave, he was like, that could have been your brother. And I'm just like...
Wait, really? Time out.
Like,
confused. What? Your dad says that could have been your
Meaning
brother?
That
he could have did something with the mom?
Apparently he used to talk to the mom.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So he's like, that could have been your brother. And I'm like, okay.
Do y'all look alike?
Weird.
Are y'all sure y'all not brothers?
Weird.
What does he look like? Is he brown skinned? Does he wear glasses?
No, he doesn't wear glasses.
Okay, because you might have to check.
So yeah. So I mean, eventually summer came, because that might have been around then school year time. But summer came, kids started coming outside. Eventually, we both were outside at the same time, hanging with the same people. So we all became friends. And as we got older, because I think I lived over there from the age of 8 until 20, maybe 20, 22.
So you stayed up there a long time.
Yes, we were on that street.
8 to 22, 12. How many years is that? My goodness.
Yeah.
8, 10. About 12.
That's like 14 2010. Years.
Wow. So you grew up from the same street since you was like 8 years old up until you're an adult. So, which means your parents
like
was,
95
wow.
to 2010.
Yeah, y'all do the math on that, folks.
Yeah, we were at that house
wow.
that long.
So your parents was pretty stable.
Yeah.
They didn't move around like I moved around at least 10 times a year.
I can tell you, I lived in Avondale on Erkenbrecher when I first was born.
Yeah, I know that street.
It's across the street from the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
The house is no longer there.
That's the hood. It probably wasn't the hood back then, but
no, it was.
It's the hood
I
now.
was a baby, so.
Oh, you didn't know.
So that's where I was born at, and then we moved to Victory Parkway, and them apartments on Victory Parkway, and then we moved to Bond Hill on Northcutt.
Which ooh. For the people out there listening to this, Northcutt is
We lived
the one way part or the part where you go straight through to the other side. Part.
Yeah,
okay.
we go straight through.
Oh, the part going towards Paddock?
Yes.
Woo,
We
that's the rough part right there.
Northgate.
Now, if you going to Rhode Island to the other side,
Paddock.
going towards Norwood, you cool. Going to
So that
because now, I don't want to go on Northcutt. You better stay strapped when you hit that club over there. Tell you about Northcutt. Woo.
And then we moved from Northcutt to Roselawn, Stillwell.
Yeah. Roseline, for people that don't know, Roseline is like down the street from Bond Hill, but in a better area though. You know, y'all moved on up to the east side, down the street. But the better house is down
so
there.
it's literally like down the street.
Yeah, but the better house, you know how you go from one neighborhood, you're still in the same neighborhood, like, oh, this is different. And then you cross that light. And then
Totally different.
Yeah.
Stillwell was like that. Like the top of the street was the ghetto.
Yeah, and then the bottom was nice. Yeah.
So that's where I met this guy when we was on Stillwell.
Okay, so at 12 years old, that's when you had your first kiss. You so nasty. Look at you smiling. You're gross. Just gross. Children.
We're still friends to this day.
You're still friends with your very first boyfriend.
Yes.
Do y'all still talk?
No, we're more like Facebook friends.
Facebook friends.
Like, we did work together a few years ago, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we're just.
So
friends.
you don't want to be so back then was you just all in love and just I'm gonna marry you. We're gonna have kids.
Thought about marriage and kids because we weren't as fast as these kids now.
Yeah, they're fast.
So no, I don't think we really thought about that. But
shoot, I think these kids now they sounded at least together at this point.
But yeah, since we met when we were like 12-ish, like I don't think we really started to notice that we liked each other until we were maybe 15, 16. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you had a decent childhood. Nothing too traumatic. No.
Went from
like
Stillwell to Forest Park.
Yeah,
and I've been in
Forest Park is up
since.
enough. Wow, 2 times. You basically moved 2 times in your whole life.
Pretty much. Avondale, Bond Hill, Roseline, Forest Park.
Decent upbringing. Both parents in the household. Both married parents in the household. Mm-hmm. Wow. Didn't witness anything crazy. Far as like their, because like shoot me, I tell you, parents, they had a divorce and it was fights, it was arguments, it was all type of stuff.
I feel like anything that my parents went through, they kept it between them. So we as kids, because it's just me and my sister, I don't think we really knew anything that was going on. If it was going on,
y'all wouldn't know. That's good. I guess. Do you think that's good, or do you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people are human, so they go through stuff. But should your children have to witness that stuff? No. No.
Okay. So